Welcome to this lesson on the inverse normal distribution. Today, we are going to learn how to find specific data values, or x values, when we are given a probability or a percentage. To understand where we are going, let's look at where we have been. In a standard normal probability problem, we usually start with a data value, convert it to a z-score, and then find the probability or area. In an inverse normal problem, we reverse this flow. We start with a given probability or area under the curve, use that to find the z-score, and finally calculate the specific data value x. It is crucial to visualize what we are doing. The probability given in the problem corresponds to the area under the normal curve. For example, if you are asked to find the score required to be in the top 10%, that 10% is an area. Our goal is to find the specific point on the horizontal axis that acts as the boundary for that area. To find this value, we use the inverse normal formula. X equals mu plus z times sigma. Here, x is the data value we are looking for, mu is the population mean, sigma is the standard deviation, and z is the z-score that corresponds to the given area. You will find the z-score using a standard normal table or a calculator. We can solve any of these problems in 3 simple steps. Step 1, identify the area. Always sketch the curve and shade the region described. We specifically need the area to the left. Step 2, find the z-score. Look up the area in your z-table or use the inverse norm function on your calculator to get the z-score. Step 3, solve for x, plug your mean, standard deviation, and z-score into the formula. There are 3 common scenarios. The first and easiest is the left tail case. This happens when questions ask for the lowest 20% or the bottom 15%. Since standard z-tables measure area from the left, you can use the given percentage directly to find your z-score. Note that for these bottom percentages, your z-score will usually be negative. The second scenario is the right tail case. This occurs when you need to find the top 10% or values that exceed a certain point. Standard tables do not read area from the right, so you must subtract the given percentage from one to get the area to the left. For example, the top 10% is the same cutoff as the bottom 90%. Use 0.9 to find your z-score. The third scenario is finding a middle or central area, such as the middle 90%. First, determine what percentage remains for the tails. If the middle is 90%, 10% remains. Since the curve is symmetric, divide this by 2. That leaves 5% in each tail. You would then look up 0.05 to find the lower cutoff and 0.95 to find the upper cutoff. Let's apply this to a real-world example. Imagine a company manufactures batteries with a mean life of 1,200 hours and a standard deviation of 100 hours. We want to find the number of hours such that only 5% of batteries last less than this time. Here, we are given the parameters and a left tail probability of 5%. Here is the solution. First, our given area is 0.05. Since it is a less than scenario, it is a left tail, so we use 0.05 directly. Looking this up in a z-table, we find a z-score of approximately negative 1.645. Next, we substitute our values into the formula. X equals 1,200 plus negative 1.645 times 100. Calculating this gives us 1,035.5 hours. So, any battery lasting less than 1,035.5 hours is in the bottom 5%. To summarize, if you are given a left side area, use it directly. If you are given a right side area, subtract it from 1. Always check your signs. Values below the mean should have negative z-scores, and values above the mean should have positive z-scores. And remember, drawing the curve is the best way to avoid mistakes.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.